The future of Rainbow High looks bleak. Hey cuties, PeachY here. Welcome back to a new video. And in this video, we have some concerning updates to discuss about the future of Rainbow High, from the official retirement cancellation of Poppy Rowan to the possible return of Shadow High but Playline and more. So stay tuned to subscribe and let's get into it. Now, first of all, this all came from a source called Percy the Posh Pug, who attended the Color and Create event at Toys R Us / Macy's, and they spoke with MJ representatives, and that's how they got all of this information. So, of course, let's just remember here that these are first and foremost rumors, and they're not really confirmed as of right now from MJ themselves. But I also think at the same time, with the way that Rainbow High has been doing so far, with their new, focus being on playline, kids-aimed dolls and activities and keeping them engaged, and the designs being like much more simpler, childish, and the articulation being less, and all these points, we already know all about this, right? So I think with the recent shift from Rainbow High, I do think a lot of these points that we'll take a look at definitely are true, at least even partially. So I do think it's very possible that a lot of these rumors do become even more obvious and official by next year. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I do think by just the way how Rainbow High has been doing recently, it does seem to be realistic, unfortunately. So let's take a look here at all of the rumors. Rumor number 1, wrist articulation is not coming back anytime soon, if not ever again. They told me that because of the cost to make the wrist articulation, that it would make the doll $40 to $50 each. For production costs and keeping the dolls affordable for doll collectors and for kids, they had to permanently eliminate the wrist articulation and also probably the upper thigh rotation articulation as well. So this rumor, I think it's true for sure. I think it's true just because we have seen that with the recent Rainbow High releases, all of the dolls have had no wrist joints, and also they've been lacking the upper thigh rotation articulation. So I do think this is very true. I'm not sure how much of this is true in the sense of the manufacturing costs and would it really make the dolls $40 each? Because I think last year we had Shadow High Series 3, we had Rainbow High Core Series 5, we had so many dolls, so many releases of Rainbow High dolls that had all of the articulation, and they didn't cost $50 or $40 each. So I do think really is that why they're not doing it? Because I do think it just there's a couple of questions as to how true is this, and is that really the reasoning why, or is it a different reason? Because again, those dolls just came out a little over last year, right? They're not that old. The recent before the rebrand happened, we got a couple of dolls and they all had all of the movement and stuff, and they weren't that expensive. So I'm just not sure how all this higher manufacturing costs came to be if it's just been a year ago. It's not been that long. So for them to be around $40 to $50 each now with the wrist articulation and the thigh movement, probably, that to me sounds insane. Is that really true? Can someone confirm this? Claudina, can you chime in? Because I just think this is a little bit they're doing a little bit of a leap, because it's really high. Is that really the case? So yeah, I'm not sure how much of the details are true, but I do think with the new rebrand of Rainbow High, yeah, we're definitely not gonna see the wrist articulation and the upper thigh movement ever again. Probably only for collector dolls, limited edition or whatever releases. But I think as for right now, with all of the playline releases, yeah, we'll never see those joints come back ever again, unfortunately. So that really sucks. Even with the recent, if you've seen them, we've seen some re-releases of Winter Break, and recently we saw Sabrina St. Cloud. She got re-released in a new style of Rainbow High packaging as well, and all of those dolls also have the cut back articulation on the wrist. So it seems even with re-releases of old dolls, they will cut back on the articulation of the wrist and thighs. So that really sucks. Like, that really sucks. And if you were wondering, the re-releases of Sabrina and the Winter Break dolls of Violet, Sunny, and Skylar, they all look bad. I mean, they're cheaper probably, but yeah, they look basically like knockoff versions of their original releases, just because they also only come with like one outfit that they are wearing, and then they also have their like little ski or snowboard set, and they don't have any of the other articulation. And Sabrina also no articulation, like wrist, and no accessories. Like, that's all she comes with, just like one outfit and the microphone, and that's it. So I do think with re-releases as well, if you were wondering, yeah, they might happen more frequently as well, but their quality will be significantly diminished for sure, like with the articulation, also with the amount of stuff that they actually come with. And I'm pretty sure that they're also going to reduce like the hair rooting costs somehow, some way. The quality will be worse, and also the face application will be different. And the clothing, perhaps, like the way that they actually produce the pieces will probably differ. So I do think, yeah, these re-releases definitely just don't look as high quality as the original releases of the dolls. Anyway, separate tangent, but yeah, it does have, it's a similar issue with like the joints. So I do think it was worth bringing up. And if you were wondering, this is, yeah, it's not going to get better, unfortunately. So yeah, the lack of wrist articulation is going to be, it's going to stay. It's going to be an ongoing thing that it's just going to be the new norm. We're going to have to get used to, unfortunately. So, rumor number 2, Poppy Rowan will not come back ever again. She is permanently retired. They told me that she did not sell well in any of the collections wave releases, and Maya or Bella do better overall in sales. So no more Poppy, even if we campaign hard for her. She is not coming back. So this rumor, unfortunately, to me also seems really true, just because we haven't had a Poppy doll yet, even in the like budget, releases like we had for series 2 with Karma, Crystal, Bella, Stella, and Georgia. They re-released those characters in budget form. They had cute outfits on, and they had the slim packaging and the standard playline budget articulation. Even there we had Bella. But it seems like even in budget form, they're not going to make Poppy dolls anymore. So it really seems like Poppy is retired. Oh, God, which really sucks. Because remember when we saw the Poppy artwork from like a magazine that leaked, and she looked so cute. And they still haven't updated the Poppy artwork on the website, Rainbow High website. So like they're still like neglecting her, and Bella's artwork too, by the way. But at least Bella has dolls. So it really seems like they're putting the focus more on Bella and Amaya releases for sure. And even with Orange dolls, they're wanting to go more with new characters, like with Clementine, than with just making a Poppy doll. So I think, unfortunately, this seems to be very true, very likely that she is, at least for now, we're not going to see any more Poppy Rowan dolls in the next coming year or so. So yeah, that really sucks. Never say never. Maybe we'll see her return again soon, but just not next year probably. So really sucks, because obviously Poppy, and to me, this whole thing, like her dolls didn't sell well. Like, to me, that sounds ridiculous, because her fashion, her runway fashion look, right, her with the butterfly dress, that doll of hers sold out, and like she's still so hard to find. So what do you mean she didn't sell enough? Like, everyone was going crazy for that doll. So to me, I think like she sold way better than Amaya or than Amaya's doll, right? So from what I saw anyway, from the discourse online, it seemed to me that the Poppy doll from that collection, the runway fashion collection, what was it called? Like the correct term, I forget, but like the deluxe fashion collection, like she sold the best out of that collection for sure, right? So it just seems ridiculous to me that they would ditch Poppy, and even with the future of Orange dolls, they're just gonna go with new characters like Clementine and just ignore Poppy's existence, like as the main core Orange character. And I'm assuming that in the series, like if season 6, 7, whatever comes out, I'm assuming they will still have Poppy in it. It's just we're never gonna get dolls of her again. That's the thing. We're gonna see her in the series, but we're just never gonna get her in a doll again. So yeah, I have a lot of questions, but unfortunately, as of right now, this seems to be very likely, and it sucks because Poppy deserves better. But at the same time, maybe it's better that she moved on because it's not looking good right now for Rainbow High. Rumor number 3. Shadow High dolls will be coming back in the next year, but at a minimum quality and geared more like playline for kids, like we have been seeing with the past Rainbow High releases over the past year. So this is interesting, obviously, because a lot of people have been wondering, like, what about Shadow High? Have they just completely, ditched Shadow High? I mean, take a look at their Instagram account. They haven't posted in like a year. Like, it's been silent. Their IG account has been silent for like way too long. Like, it's not good for a brand to stay silent on IG, like, because you always want to be active to stay relevant, to keep your products, fresh in people's minds. And yeah, Shadow High being inactive on IG for like a year or something, that's really not good, right? So definitely goes to show us that it made us wonder, like, okay, Shadow High is done. They're canceled, right? Like, unofficially, like, MJ just, like, quietly canceled them. Well, I guess perhaps not. So I guess it's kind of exciting to see Shadow High return in any kind of way in the next year. But obviously what has me worried is the whole, the whole condition on them returning is being playline. So they're going to return, but it'll be at the quality level of playline. So minimum quality, probably less articulation as well, no wrist, no fancy joints, right? Probably the outfit's gonna be just one each, gonna be very childish, more compared to older releases for the outfits. So I think they might be Shadow High dolls in a sense that they might have like different skin tones, like pink, purple skin tones, like ethereal fantasy skin tones. But I do think like the essence of Shadow High will be completely missed. It will be very absent because Shadow High originally didn't sell enough because of the black and white aspect, and then they introduced more color, remember, and then with the third series, the core series of Shadow High, they had even more color. So I do think if Shadow High returns in the next year, it will not only be in like more of a playline level for the quality of the outfits and hair and like what they come with, and probably they will also come with like some kind of like slime or liquid crystal gimmick, whatever, and pets, but also the whole essence of Shadow High used to be like edgy, like edgy styles. And that will probably completely be absent in this, reintroduction of Shadow High and this new rebranded version of Rainbow High. So, it's exciting. Shadow High will be perhaps coming back, but I don't think it will quite feel like Shadow High anymore. It will just kind of look like Shadow High because of the fantasy skin tones, but I think overall, it will not be Shadow High anymore. It will be called, maybe they will still call them Shadow High, but it will really not be the same anymore. Like completely, I think they will look different, style-wise and quality-wise, and just, they will completely miss the mark. So, it's exciting, but still, at the same time, I feel like if they're not going to do it right, and just call these new dolls Shadow High just because of the name recognition, and because they already have it established as a rival school in the Rainbow High universe. It just feels like to me like they could have done this with any other doll line, but no, they already have Shadow High established, so they're gonna use Shadow High. So I don't know, I feel a little bit I'm torn because it's exciting, but also I know very well with how Rainbow High has been doing that if Shadow High does return, it will not be in any way that we want it to return. Trust me. Rumor number 4, secondary outfits will never be coming back either. They stated it would make the dolls too expensive with the details that they do on the clothing, and it would cost too much for production. So this, I think, is also very likely. Similar to the, joint rumor, I do think just with like the trajectory of Rainbow High and how they've been doing lately, I think it is it's the case. We're not going to get second outfits ever again. I mean, yes, there will be probably like, specific fashion focused playsets that do have more outfit pieces, but I think as in core releases with slime and pets and like as a, usual release strategy, they will no longer have the extra outfits. I think the extra outfits will be just, included in like specific fashion playsets or whatever. So it sucks obviously because a lot of people loved having the option and having the creativity to mix and match outfits and, all that jazz. Obviously it sucks, but when we saw that change happen first with Rainbow High Series 5 and Shadow High Series 3, we had extra accessories instead of the second outfits. People were also like very upset. But I think we've come to terms with it. We've gotten used to it, right? And I think as long as the outfit that the doll is wearing is already, cute enough and like well designed and has maybe separate pieces and has layers as much as they can, obviously, I think that's already good enough for most people. But obviously the extra outfits the extra outfits were a staple of Rainbow High in the early releases. So it does suck that obviously for now at least they're not going to bring it back in the next coming releases. So it sucks, but what are you gonna do? I think obviously this is just part of Rainbow High's new focus. They're not focusing as much on fashion pieces, on quality, or on like just basically anything exciting. They're all about playline now. They're all about gimmicks and being kid friendly and being, engaging with the slime and whatever, like all the activities that come with a doll. They have to, it's like they're doing too much now when before it used to be so much simpler, and I feel like kids were still really into Rainbow High. Like I don't know. I mean, obviously they changed. It's done. It's over. We can't do it. We can't do anything about it now. It's too late. But I don't know, maybe one day we'll get second outfits again and it will maybe feel like the old Rainbow High again. The good old days of Rainbow High. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, I'm so old. Oh God. Like I never would have thought that we would be here talking about Rainbow High not coming with second outfits or less articulation or having less quality and focusing more on gimmicks and like this is so dystopian to me. It's so bizarre, but I know it's like, ugh, how did we get here, And lastly, rumor number 5, the dolls will be permanently geared towards selling to kids. They made the decision to permanently make Rainbow High for the appeal of children, so the gimmicks and pets are here to stay. Oh my God. Yeah, so speaking of with the second outfits and the joints, this really stinks because obviously, a lot of us were in denial, hoping that maybe these couple of first releases with the gimmicks were just like, like the special releases, but the normal releases will not have the slime or the special legs or the weird syringe tube thingies with the dresses filled with sand or whatever, or powder. But nope, it seems that this is going to be the new norm for Rainbow High releases. With every new signature release, they're going to have a gimmick attached. And this is also no different with the upcoming release with the crystal dolls coming next year. They will have resin. Something to do with resin will be the gimmicks for those dolls. If I talked about them more in my MGA 2025 first impressions video. But basically, it's gonna be every release. They're gonna have some kind of a gimmick attached to the dolls and something to do with the dolls and the theme and whatever. So it sucks because I do think, obviously they want to gear towards kids. They want to, I get that. But I also feel like kids don't always need a gimmick to keep them entertained. I feel like a lot of kids are entertained by the dolls themselves, and they have a lot of play value with the dolls themselves, with like the fashion aspect and like the mix and match aspect of the outfits and like the hair styling and whatever. But nope, it's like now they have to go the extra mile and introduce a new gimmick, a new like activity thing for every collection. And I feel like it's just a little bit too excessive. It's too much. It just feels like too convoluted to me. So yeah, and obviously this new path that Rainbow High is on, with the gimmicks not going anywhere anytime soon, the pets are here to stay. I know the slime is here to stay. God. I think with this information, I think a lot of people, a lot of adult collectors that were maybe sticking around hoping to see Rainbow High improve, are definitely going to be turned off by this change, and they're gonna stop collecting Rainbow High, period. For the present moment. So really sucks, obviously. But I think that's what MJ is trying to do. They're really trying to get rid of all of the adult collectors and just trying to really focus on the kids. It's like, it's the kids, for the kids, man. So it's like, Whoa. Yeah, it really feels like MJ is trying to get rid of us adult collectors, like with these gimmicks and like really childish designs. And like, yeah, I do think a lot of us will be lost in this transition of Rainbow High's new identity. So for sure, they're doing a good job. So it just sucks that, obviously, the slime, the pets, the gimmicks, they're here to stay. And I do think this is also very likely. Of course, it just seems like they're going to do this anyway. So I think this is pretty true for sure. Unfortunately, yeah, really sucks. But I think it's like the glittery legs for the sparkle and shine dolls, I think that's okay. It's not horrible, but it's like with the syringe and the powder and the dresses for the winter dolls, and then the slime gimmick with the pets. Like, I think when it gets too much like that, I don't like it. So yeah, I think for now, adult collectors will probably just focus on more customs and restyles, and they will no longer be buying newer of the Rainbow High releases. And yeah, no surprise. I mean, this just seems to be the state of Rainbow High. Like, just, yeah, kids, gimmick, slime, pets, toys, and no longer really the emphasis on quality. So yeah, they're really choosing gimmicks over quality. So and not even like cute gimmicks. Like, they're really like, what's this gimmick? Like, it's like so extra. So yeah, sad days for Rainbow High fans for sure. And those were the 5 rumors that came out of this recent Color and Create event at Macy's. Did anyone go? Because I did see the highlights on like the Rainbow High Instagram story, and a lot of kids went. Like, it's crazy, like so many kids posing in front of these cardboards and like the screens and like whatever. It really seems like they had a good time, and like that's great. I'm happy for Rainbow High and like the kids, at least, that they have a good time with these new dolls, and like the Color and Create dolls seem to be doing really great. So that's great. Obviously, it just sucks that we as adult collectors have to be neglected, and like the quality has to be neglected for these new dolls for them to do well with the gimmicks and stuff. So I just wish that they would find a good balance between the two, because it's not like they have to choose gimmicks over quality. They can have a good balance of the two. So yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be balanced. It really seems to be like they're just focusing on get the gimmicks and just having bright colors and outfits and cute designs, but like nothing that's beyond that, like nothing too detailed or complex. Like, so it really, it sucks. I do think a lot of people have mentioned that if they had made Junior High, if they had turned Junior High into this like kiddie friendly, bubbly colors, kind of like rebrand instead of Rainbow High as a whole, then we could also have the best of both worlds, because Junior High could be the more focused for kid toy line, and then Rainbow High could be like for both, and then Shadow High could be like for adult collectors. So I think a lot of people were like hoping for kind of like a balance like that, but we didn't get that. So hopefully, even with Shadow High returning, they do find a good balance for like better quality and just cuter designs, just better designs overall. Because I think and I think a lot of the recent designs, like with the crystal dolls that leaked, they're cute, but like, is cute what we're gonna settle for? Are we gonna settle for cute? It's just like, I feel like if you keep saying cute over and over again, it's like, well, is that all that the doll is? Like, is that all she is? Just cute? Because I feel like prior, the early releases of Rainbow High, there was actual thought behind it. Yes, there was like a lot of brand references, but that was fun. So there was always more to it. And with the new dolls that have been coming out, it's just like, yeah, all you can say is like, oh yeah, cute. It's like, yeah, but it's not a good way to say it, because it's like, what else can you say? So you end up saying cute, because it's like, yeah, they're not ugly dolls. Obviously, Rainbow High is not going to make ugly dolls, That's what my mom always says. Like, of course the dolls are not going to be ugly. No one would buy them. So yeah, of course they're going to be pretty. They're going to be cute to some extent in the face or whatever. But that's all they are. That's just surface level. And I feel like there should be more to it than that. So yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's a little bit frustrating because it really seems like MGA is really just going full on, 360 and just, complete different direction, just gimmicks and slime and pets and just basic outfits, just really okay, cute designs, but nothing else, nothing more, nothing less, nothing else. And I feel like we are allowed to expect for more, but this is the current state of Rainbow High, and doesn't seem like it's gonna change anytime soon. Poppy retiring is not a surprise. It just seems like it really sucks, but it's not a surprise. And then the complete like, they're not gonna make any dolls with the joints articulation or the second outfits, and they're now completely geared towards kids. Like, that's not a surprise either. That completely doesn't surprise me. That's just what we've been seeing so far. And then Shadow High returning, I think, to me sounds like the most okay, I'm listening kind of rumor that we've heard here. It could be good, but again, I feel like if Shadow High, the way that they're gonna bring it back, it might not be really good. So I don't know. Let's see. Obviously, Storywood never materialized, so let's see what happens with that as well. And I don't know, I feel like they do have potential to kind of like have a good balance between kids satisfying gimmicks and also like adult collector level of details and designs. So it's just they are choosing to focus on the gimmicks and pleasing kids and keeping kids engaged, when they could really have a good balance to please both communities, but both levels of ages. Anyway, basically, it doesn't look too good, Rainbow High future right now. Rainbow High's future doesn't look too good right now, but never say never. It doesn't look good. But anyway, that was the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and consider becoming a member today to support the channel if you're able to. And of course, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the adulty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time, stay peachy. Kisses.